You're listening to Who's Hot, the UK OCR podcast, where Wil Chung, along with elite racers Becky, Neal, Finley, Greenleaf, and the occasional special guest, discuss the UK OCR series and other important races in the OCR calendar to find out who's hot.
Hello and thank you for downloading the latest UK OCR Who's Hot podcast. My name is Wil Chung, I'm the host, and I'm here with my two elite racers. First of all, I've got Finley Greenleaf. Finn, hello, how are you doing?
All good. Alive, which is the main thing after the weekend. But yeah, I'm alive and well, all good.
Well, never mind the weekend, you've just come back from training. What was this training, just to tell everyone, because I felt sick when you said it earlier.
Oh, it was only 8, 6, 4, 3 times 2 at sub 15 5k pace and a nice 55-second 400 to end it off. So, yeah, not too bad of a session.
Not too bad. That sounds gross to me. And of course, we've got Becky Neal. Hey, Becky.
Hey, Will. How's it going?
Yeah, very well. And how's your training?
Yeah, I just came back from a casual run on the beautiful beach on the south coast. It was quite a journey home after Tartan Warrior, but the weather here is so much nicer. So I've obviously am the most soft, being the most southern. Yeah, it was really beautiful though. So yeah, lovely to be home.
We will obviously talk a lot more about the weather, but I was in Prague. I did the Prague half marathon and the weather was actually quite cold there as well. And it was weird because the Thursday, Friday, chilling, horrible wind, a bit drizzly. Saturday, day of the race, absolutely perfect. It was sunny, blue skies, cool with a very little breeze. And then Sunday it went just back to cold and biting wind and stuff like that, but not quite as bad as what I've heard in Tartan Warrior. So of course, we are here to talk about Tartan Warrior, the very first race of the UK OCR 2026 series, which happened last weekend, 29th and 30th of March. It incorporated one of the races from the 400 metre series, the Scottish OCR series, and the 3K championships too. I've got the results in front of me. I want to just very quickly go through the results of the 400 and the 3K, and then we'll talk more about the whole weekend and, of course, the 8K UK OCR series. So now he said he's got the results. Here we go. For the 400 meters, sorry, I am now just scrolling through my bloody WhatsApp. Here we go. 400 meters, sorry, this sounds really bad. We have the women 16 plus. First place, Charlotte Dehane. Second place, our very own Becky Neal. Third place, Lou Ferriman. In the men 16 plus, first place, Oliver Addy. Second place, Jonathan Hunter. And third place, Finley Greenleaf. In the female youth, the 10 to 15, we had Mariah Burton in first place, Grace Gray in second place, and Caitlin Wheelhouse in third place. And in the male 10 to 15, we had Sam Cook first place, Henry Ferriman in second place, and Archie Bright in third place. And then we have the 4K, first place, our very own Finley Greenleaf, your first win of our own series. Well done, Finn. I'm sure we're bringing you some really good luck. Second place, Mo Maxwell. In third place, Russell Walsh. And in the female, we had first place, Becky Neal. Second place, Charlotte Dehane. And in third place, Karen McQuarrie. So congratulations to both of you. Quickly cover off how the 3K went for you both.
For myself, it was, well, unexpected, to be honest. I've had an off season. I've been more laissez-faire in my approach, just letting things go, a bit more of the flow. I think last season, coming to Tartan Warrior, I had bags of confidence, to be blunt and honest. I thought, I'm in a great form. Things ain't going to plan. And that was the time I thought I'd take the 3K. This year, I've done very little obstacles coming to like pre-season wise. I wasn't expecting anything from it. And my whole race tactic really was, there's Mo. I'm going to sit behind him and just, can I hang on? And we were battling for a while. He had that slight lead on me. And we got to the balance beam and he fell off. And it just changed everything. So I kind of hopped off the balance beam the other side. And I was like, right, now what then? Because the whole plan had gone completely out the window. Behind Mo was everything I planned to do. And I took the lead of the race there. And I kind of just went with it in my stride. And I don't know if it's just a flow state or something. And somehow got across that line. And yeah, British champion. Well, I really, really wasn't expecting, but I couldn't be more delighted with it. A result, like I say, I wasn't really seeing coming, but I couldn't be more happy with. So yeah, great on my end.
And it's amazing you've taken two very good scalps there. Of course, you got Mo and Russell, and then we talked in the previous show about Jonathan Hunter and how much work he's been doing, and to get into fourth place is also really good for him too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Becky, champion.
I mean, congratulations, Finley. That was a fantastic performance. Not an easy race to win at all, and especially like you're saying about the prep. But I agree. I actually also used the words flow state describing the race to somebody else after we did it as well, because I felt like very in control. I think like obviously the weather was really daunting. We were stood on the start line for the first wave, and we could just see the clouds coming over the landscape, and we're like, okay, we're about to get wet. Then when it arrived on the start line, 3 minutes to go, it was sideways hail, and you could feel it like pelting through your clothes onto your skin, and we were screaming so loud. Like everybody was so loud, the spectators ran away. There's a few dedicated marshals hanging on with us, and so we sort of like anything could happen at that point. But yes, it went really smoothly for me. Like all the obstacles were fine. I was being very cautious, but I felt like I was just like the running was under control. So I was very relaxed going to the obstacles, and it flowed. It flowed, and I wasn't under pressure too much. And so, yeah, a really just smooth race, and very glad, very pleased with it.
Very quick question, because again, I wasn't there for the weekend, but I see the time. And you put quite a bit of distance between yourself and Shy. What was that? Weather? Was it because she was in a flow state? Did she fall off anything, or what was going on there? Because obviously between the men and Finn and everyone else, it was relatively tight. But you seem to put a nice big gap there from what I can see just in terms of numbers.
Yeah, I mean, we went off together. We went over the wall together, and the giant tractor tires together. And then after that, I sort of just ran ahead and was then leading the race for the majority of the time. But I think yeah, for the first time, Naiban Shai did slip up on the rings, and that meant that she was then in a battle with Karen for the race. But I was I think a few minutes ahead. So I was, making sure I had a good buffer for any of the obstacles towards the end, which is what I needed actually for the next day. Yes, so it was just the running speed, really, even in the 3K.
Because you obviously, marathon training, so probably not quite the leg speed as you would expect for the 3K. So yeah, Winton's gone well for you both.
Good fitness, yeah, very pleased.
Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about Saturday night, but we'll go straight into Sunday for the actual 8K results. We have the overall male. We have Mo Maxwell in first place, Gavin Hogarth in second place, and in third place, Russell Walsh. Finley, you came fourth place there. Overall female, Becky Neal, once again doing the double. Second place, Shyla, and third place, Izzy Young. I'm sure we'll talk a bit more about her later on. In the Masters male, we had Alex Young, James Burton, Andy Bright. In the Masters female, we had Louise Ferriman, Sandy Powell, and Catherine Wilson. In the 5K 10 to 13 boys, we had first place Henry Ferriman, second place Cameron Young, third place Archie Bright. And in the 5K 10 to 13 girls, we had Amelia Bright, Lucy Feltbauer, and third place Chloe Jarman. And we have 14 to 17 boys, Cameron Montgomery, Sam Cook, and Rowan Galsworthy. And in the 14 to 17 girls, we had Grace Gray and Emma Wright. Where do you guys want to start? Was the weather as bad on the Sunday as it was on the Saturday?
Everyone knew it was forecast to be worse weather on the Sunday. So we've been through that on the start line, and then of course we followed in the afternoon and some of the relay and stuff. And the changing of the weather was just so dramatic. It would be like and yeah, so we all had a forecast and knew that it was going to be worse, i.e. 50 km/h winds and rain, like more stronger rain at the same time as the race. And so everyone was like kind of prepared for it, but certainly in the women's race, everyone's very nervous about getting cold for Tartan Warrior. It's happened every year. Sometimes it's worse than the 3K. Gavin, the race director, had made some sensible decisions about taking out one of the swamps, which is in the latter part of the race. But even with the amount that you have left after that, it still can have a big impact. So there were some sensible decisions about reducing some of the water immersions, but we still went through the burns. A few times there was actually quite a long one with the tyre carry that Gavin had described at the start of the race, as well as going back into the burn after or between kind of some of the rig sections. But the last water bit had been taken out. So really it was mostly the weather to contend with, but pretty much every woman was wearing some element of neoprene. There was a lot of neoprene hats and headbands, definitely socks, quite a few vests or tops as well, and even some shorty wetsuits tucked under clothes as well. I wasn't planning on wearing much of that, but I did wear more clothes than I thought I was going to. And actually, I wore a race jacket, and I think Finn might have been the first time you ran a race in a jacket, and a few of the guys that made it hard for the spectators.
Yeah, it was my first time, like I say, in a jacket, and it's something to learn from. I'd say I think my jacket was a little bit too, like I say, I packed the jacket just for a warm up thing. I didn't really pack it planning to race in it because not something I've ever done before. Ended up being a bit of a sail of sorts at points for me. Sadly, it wasn't as snug as I expected it to be, but it was definitely something different. And for myself, it's not something I've done. Previously in those kind of conditions, I was a bit lost. I brought neoprene with me in terms of a vest. I kind of regret not wearing it, to be honest. Like, I think Mo, I believe, went with neoprene vest and shirt, which I think worked really well. I think I probably should have gone neoprene vest and then a vest on top. But I went with that jacket in the end. And to be honest, I felt fine in terms of heat because of that. I felt comfortable. But I think race pace probably did outwork. I think especially at the start, a little while to adjust. I was a bit sluggish. But for myself, even with a couple of years experience underneath my belt, that was something I've not really experienced before. And real tough one.
Yeah, it's certainly a popular topic of conversations before and afterwards, especially the gloves. I did try a new glove combination for anyone who's interested in these types of conversations, which we all are, kind of gear and kit and everything. I'm the person that ran around Antarctica with 5 pairs of gloves on me. So in this race, I had 2 pairs of gloves. I was wearing both of them. I had my grip kind of work wear kind of gloves underneath. But of course, most people know that they make your hands feel colder. And that's not what we want on those obstacles. So on top of that, I actually had the kind of flip mitt neoprene things, like black mitts, but a different version. And so I could notice the difference running with those over the top. They were protecting me from that high wind and rain, that was stopping it, because I could feel the difference when I flapped them down and I flapped them back to do the obstacles. And then I actually took them off when I came into the barn at the end. That was a bad decision. I don't know why I did that. I think I wasn't thinking straight. I should have done it earlier and dried my hands, but I just had wet hands, and that impacted my obstacle completion on that slippery painted metal. Anyway, gloves was a big topic of conversation. Weather was very changeable. I think another group on Saturday, the 45 to 45 or 40 to 45 men were caught in that hailstorm whilst they were doing the obstacles whilst we were on the start line. So that was probably peak bad conditions, but the whole of the 8K was pretty relentless. The amount of pushing you had to do, how hard you had to run into the wind. You couldn't hear anything, you couldn't see much. And you really had to grind it out and put yourself out there, kind of thing. So massive respect to everyone who got on the start line. And I know that quite a few people also weren't able to even finish because they became so cold. So still huge respect to those people who did their best and got far around the course, because it was challenging, and everybody's bodies kind of handled the cold differently for various reasons. So it is very complex and individual in terms of the prep. So just, good experience.
So I guess, Becky, just carry on talking about your race, and Izzy came second, so I apologise. So it was Becky first, Izzy second, and Shai in third place. It seems there wasn't so much of a gap this time between yourself and Izzy, and then a few minutes with Shai, and then Karen in fourth place. So that sounds, or it looks as on paper, like that was quite a good battle between you both.
Yeah, so we went off, it's a downhill start, and we talked about how fast that would be, and it was quite fast. And then you were sort of running cross country, I suppose, for a little bit, and we'd noticed that there was going to be that long tire carry, and actually I was kind of leading the running, and I could tell that there was someone just behind me, and I kind of expected it to be Karen. I don't know why. And then Izzy nipped in front of me through a gate, and I was like, oh, of course it's Izzy. That makes total sense. And then we were going through this kind of single track part, and I could see her, cross country skills coming through, and I was like, oh yeah, here we go. And then we kind of traipsed back across the field, and I kind of took the front into the wind and got a head start on the tire carry. And I also thought it might be Libby coming up close behind me as well. And then this tire carry was sort of like in everybody else's wheelhouse apart from mine and Izzy's probably. So I was kind of ready for Libby. You know, she loves the hills and excellent Spartan racer, likes the carries, and Shy as well, very strong in those situations. And Karen too, she's a really good runner, carrying like the tires and stuff right over that terrain. So I was expecting some of them to come up behind us, but I think we got to the top first, and then it was pretty like dodgy underfoot, so we were quite cautious, and we had to go through the burn in and out quite a few times with the tire. So we were kind of just going carefully through there, but I think everybody was. Shy had kind of injured herself a little bit on the Saturday in the 400, so she was definitely running more cautiously, especially like through the water with the carries and stuff, worried about her ankle, which she had strapped up. But then we kind of put the tires down and ran back towards the farm, and I had a clear lead at that point. But then you've got the obstacle section, and you're running down the field and back up again, so you can start to see how close everybody is suddenly. And so I was ahead, and then Izzy was running on her own behind me, and then it was Shy and Libby, and this is the stage where Shy came off of the rings. No, sorry, that was Saturday. Libby came off the rings, I think. Yeah, that must make sense. And so that was where the race sort of changed a little bit in terms of the positions. And then I kind of gained a bit more of a lead through the rest of the obstacles, and I think there came a closer battle, but Izzy was still ahead of Shy for the majority of the race. Once you get kind of round that part of the farm and then back on top near the wind turbines, there was a longer sandbag carry. And I also thought, oh, this is a tough part of the race. We're going head first into the wind. And that was like, you know, you're running next to a windmill. It's the windiest place you can be. And yeah, it was hard at that point, because what would you say that's like? I actually didn't have a watch all weekend, so I was like consistently late. And I don't know how far around the race that was. What do you reckon, Finn? 5, 6K? I don't know, 6K?
Yeah, I reckon so, yeah.
Oh, maybe, yeah, 5. Anyway, so this point, I did the whole sandbag loop, and they were just arriving. And Shy got a bit closer to Izzy, and the next section there was just basically running, and with the kind of the dodgy ankle and with Izzy's good cross-country skills, I wasn't sure how much that was going to change. So we knew it was going to kind of come down to the obstacles at the end, and like you can have a strong lead, but still a lot can go wrong with that many obstacles left. We still had the rope traverse, the Hamish and Ramsey rig, the laser shooter, we had the slack line, the balance beam, the hooks and the wheels and the low rig still to go. So like a lot can go wrong, a lot can change in that time, especially if you suddenly get very cold. There's quite a large hill to climb and everything. And I was actually worried that my shoes were going to fall apart, because they were very, very bad condition. I thought, I can't lose this race by losing my shoes. So I was quite conscious of that and just trying not to hurt myself. That was my main goal of the weekend, to not hurt myself before the London Marathon. So yeah, I gave Karen a high five as we kind of came back off the loop, and could kind of see the gap behind us, but yeah, Izzy still had the lead on Shy. And then I'd got back to the farm, and yes, I took my wet gloves off, and then I slipped off very early on the red Ramsey rig, and started doing the rower as a penalty. I think quite a lot of people were good at nailing the lasers. I'm not sure about the men's race, but it sounds like people were quite good actually at getting the shots on target quite quickly. Maybe not so much the little ones. I don't think they're necessarily looking and thinking about what they're doing, just kind of pointing and shooting. So if you focused, it went quite well. But then I missed the bell on the green spinny rig, and so I had to do another penalty, and I was like, oh my God, I might get caught, because at this stage Izzy had entered the arena, but I couldn't see Shy just yet. So it felt like we were quite spread out, but then suddenly it didn't. But yeah, 200 meters on the row again, and I think I had about a minute and a bit lead, and then there was another minute or so to Shy from Izzy. So those positions pretty much stayed the same the whole race, but it did feel like it was like a race still, and people were fighting for it. Izzy collapsed over the line. Bless her, she worked so hard and was very proud of that. You know, we were worried the day before because we didn't get to race head to head with Izzy, and I know she really wanted to, because she's focusing on the 3K. She's unable to take part in all the kind of adult series races, the UKCR series, so she wanted to really race well in the 3K series. But because of the size of the waves, we weren't able to race head to get head, so kind of anticipating like how close it would be. So she was very excited to race with us, and we were glad to have her battling out head to head on the Sunday. So that was really really cool to see. And then Shai came over the line and was also pretty tired. We had some group hugs on the finish line after, it really felt like we came together even though we didn't run together, because we all battled through that same like tough conditions, challenging course. So that was nice. And then a quick change, unfortunately, that's how it went down.
It looks like quite a tight battle between Karen, Libby, and Pip as well. There's less than a minute between those three.
Yeah.
As you say, you all hugged up. I'm kind of guessing that was probably more about getting home again rather than anything else.
Yeah, it was hard to stick around at the end, but I think the obstacles toward the end make a big difference there. And actually, Pip and Karen were only 1 second apart on on the Saturday. They'd run in different waves because Pip is slightly younger, and then realized afterwards with the 3K overall results that Pip was only 1 second behind the podium in fourth. They were excited to have more of a head-to-head battle, but I think Karen might have been running out ahead, and then Karen was really pleased with the amount of obstacles she managed to complete in those weather conditions. She said that some of those she hadn't been able to do in that kind of weather before. So she saw some progress, but I think Pip actually really nailed the obstacles towards the end and caught up quite well.
And Finn, let's just go back to Izzy as well. Obviously, you will have covered her on point size before, but she is becoming a much stronger racer, both in running and in obstacles. And I guess a little bit like you and with Mo beforehand, kind of we see people grow and just grow into the sport as well. And I think Becky might agree, or I'm sure you will agree, she will become a formidable racer, when she's just that little bit older and that little bit stronger.
I think as well, obviously, Izzy is also part of my home county of Essex. So cross-country wise, I've been seeing her competing as well. And I will say she's represented the Essex team before, and I will defend us. We are one of the best counties out there, cross-country style. We're up there these days. It's not an easy team to qualify for, I can tell that. We're better than our rival Suffolk. That's a guarantee as well. Anyway, ignoring those kind of rivalries, she's been incredible cross-country style-wise. And we'll talk about the 3K as well. I've had that same thing in the past where I haven't been able to compete against Russ and Mo for myself a couple of years in the past. I've been different waves and it's been frustrating. So, like you say, that second day on the Sunday, to actually go and compete in the same wave, and then for that ability to her to push through, her obstacle skills showing, her endurance, her running skills, all that combined to have a really, really strong performance, which, by the way, as we all know, this is only the start of the season. There's so much more to come. To start the season that strong is a great base to have. And it's just shown, and you say, especially like myself and Mo in the past, I'm sure Mo will agree as well, when you're at that kind of younger age, I think other youth athletes as well probably see this as well, those off seasons are more bigger than ever because it's such a long stage of development. You can come back into it and you'll be quicker than you ever imagined. And I think that's what happened with Izzy, I reckon, as well, simply because that off season is so much more time to develop and grow for a young athlete. It's a great chance to step up, and we saw her flying in the last year, and yet Tartan this weekend was just above and beyond that and another step up. And like we say, young athlete, years to come, there's probably plenty more steps to slowly build up on, and it's really exciting to see.
You want to talk about your race, Finn, and I guess maybe the guys in front of you and Darren Martin who is behind you? Well, the guys in front of me, I can't speak much on. I'm going to assume it was Mo. From where I could see him, he was up there flying. He looked really comfortable. Like I've said, he's had a great off season and pre-season, getting that strength and endurance up on his running, and that really showed. I believe he held that comfortably in first place. There was Gavin challenging slightly, but I think Mo was happy. He was there, he was comfortable, and a very deserved win for him. In a lot of years, both in the free and the Sunday endurance 8K, fighting for a win. He's been needing a Scotland win for a while, and he really got that. Great for him. He looked, completely solid and comfortable. In those early stages, those three, and I'll say Darren at the time as well, it's just something. I couldn't get into a certain gear, I don't know what, but every little micro movement seems to get a little bit of edge and gain away. And like I say, those front three especially, Russ, Gav, Mo,
just flew through. They had that little extra gear, little extra step just to fly, and they looked really strong and really powerful out there on course. For myself, like I say, first time wearing a jacket, something new. I slightly regret it. I can't say I wish I wore the neoprene and wish I wore the vest, and I kind of am saying that because I don't know. Then might have been too warm, whatever. So I can't really think about the past now. That's in the past, but another potential option for me. But I went, with the jacket. I didn't feel cold. I felt right temperature wise. Maybe in terms of that kind of bit of a sail, bit of the wind wasn't great for myself. I had quite a sluggish start, to be honest. Getting to that first obstacle section back up near the barn, I had James Burton rivaling me for a bit. So we had a little battle going through those early stages back near the barn and back near the main centre. And then after a while, getting out to those windmills, like Becky said, the real horrible bit where the rain seemed to pick up a bit more exposed to the elements. I managed to pave a way into fifth with Darren still ahead of me. Like I say, those front three, long gone. Unlucky for James, he came off right near the end of the rings or the ring hooks. I never think what they're called, but whether they're called hooking the rings into the holes. Never done name that obstacle, but point being, he slipped near the end there, which gave me a little gap round the windmills, ending the carry and into that long section of the run, which I think the race can really change at that point. I think I pride myself in a bit more running strength, and I think I probably gained on Darren there a bit. And coming up that hill again, like I was saying before, the elements are all there. It was brutal at that time. Proper tough race in my opinion. And I'll say in my opinion, I think everyone would agree who was there. It was a tough race, but point being, got a bit closer there into that final real gauntlet area, coming into the obstacles at the end. I thought Darren was further ahead than he actually was. And obviously, obstacles, things come down to things right at the end. They can change it all. And I had just a bit of flow, to be honest. Got through the Ramsey Hamish rig quite well. Monkey bars, the gun I was quite comfortable on, balance. And then out of nowhere, Darren was there. And I will admit, I did play a little bit dirty at a point to start chatting to him as he was on a couple of rigs just to throw him off a little. I'm not sure. I think he said he was slipping already, but he came off those green wheels. Yeah, I think it did. Yeah, helped a little bit, and he had a little slip off there. I ended up taking a risk just to get through, ring that bell, just to catch him. And after that, like I say, he slipped as well, and it gave me a nice little window. Just run down the hill, back up again, and in the end, seal fourth. So, like I say, I'm pretty happy at fourth. Seen the night before, so the day before and the night. Probably come to that later, but anyway, it was a real rough start for me and a bit more of a recovery coming from a real poor position early on to get fourth. Could be much happier, to be honest.
Nice. And well, I guess I'll ask you guys before I give my opinion, but Gav getting second place over us.
I actually I because the women's start was like an hour or something, 45 minutes after the men's. So I was warming up and I managed to catch the men coming back into the barn section with the Hamish and Ramsey rig. And so I'd just seen Mo take the lead. I saw him coming in from the running section back towards the farm, and he was flying. He was miles ahead. It was amazing to see how much of a lead he had. So I watched him do the rigs nice and smoothly. And then, Gavin came in and I think everyone was like, yes, really happy to see him, was surprised. And also he completed that rig as well, his son's names. And I was like, wow, cool. And then I saw Russell coming in and he wasn't that far behind. So that gap was a bit closer. But I don't know, I wouldn't underestimate Gavin at that stage in his element, in his location, when he's already got that confidence from being that far ahead. So Russell would have had to work extra hard to be able to close that gap. And actually the biggest variability there, or variable there, is probably the shooting. But again, that just comes down to practice. But if somebody's like a bit stressed or pushing harder and your heart rate's higher, then that suddenly can make it a much harder. But like I said, it wasn't too challenging, I don't think. So I was surprised. But then from watching that, I had thought that all the obstacles were quite fine and all good. But apparently quite a few of the men also weren't able to complete that red one because of the conditions. So it appeared that they were actually, head and shoulders above quite a lot of the athletes on speed and also technical ability there. So the best people, the fastest people to complete all the obstacles win. And I think in the women's race, maybe only, well, I'm not sure about the whole field, but the top kind of section, Shai completed that one, and nobody else did. In the top sort of 5 or so. So yeah, Gavin had a good execution.
Old man Gav's still got it, I guess. Then I remember last year he overtook me at some point. He said, I can't remember exactly what he said. Something about being old and being able to beat me. And luckily that year I managed to take third. But I have to admit, knowing that he was ahead of me, he got on my head at some point, thinking, "Oh, the old man strolling ahead of me at some point." But no,
they're all older than you.
They are all older than me. He's the old man.
He's not.
He's not the old. There's levels. He's slightly older.
He just calls himself old.
He calls himself I can't say how old is he?
He's not old.
He's not that old.
No.
He's still old man Gav to me though. They're all old man to me. But... Sorry, I don't.
I wonder whether he was gritting his teeth when we was in the preview show, because neither of you said Gavin in the show. It's like, I'm going to show you guys.
Yeah, he never speaks. He just does the work. He just doesn't speak about it. He just cracks on.
This is part of my strategy. If we're not naming you, that's to help you want it more.
A couple of other names that I think is just worth a shout out. Of course, Cameron did very well in 9th place. Sam Cook did well in 13th place. But then I think we talked about these in the preview show. I think Gavin mentioned Tom Jarman and Rush Jarman, father and son. And I just wanted to say that the son, Tom, did beat his dad, Ross. I just wanted to put that out there as well.
Nice. Yeah. And Susan did really well as well.
Yeah. I will say though, the two German men seem like they sadly suffered a bit from the cold. I think they seem like I saw that really suffering. I'm hoping they're all right now. I think I saw Tommy finishing and he looked. I don't know the words for it really, but he needed a bit of support. So those two, I think, were slightly, not to sound rude, but slightly underdressed. I think for it a little bit because they seem to be suffering from the cold. But both of them been able to get through it really well. I'm sorry, I'll name someone else now. Going on a bit of a tangent right now, but Johnny Hunter, we mentioned in the pre-show, he had a really good race, and it was a weird one because obviously, as those know, Tartan Warrior on that main hill by the main area, we were going up and down, back and forth to switchovers, and I saw Johnny, and he, no offense to, he looked quite far back though to what I was expecting. I was like, oh okay, I might be pushing a little more than that, and I think somewhere along the lines he must have just kept building momentum, had a real strong end to the race because out of nowhere he was right up there going on that big long run. I could see he was the one who was now behind me, so he had a great performance. And I think similar to myself, he had a race where he started off a little bit slower, but he really came into his speed and stride in the end. So yeah, really impressive from him.
Becky, just going back to you, any other females that we want to be talking about and kind of just giving a shout out? Julie Box did pretty well. I'm sure she was singing Taylor Swift on her way around.
Well, there's lots of people bringing a lot of different things to this race. I mean, Louise did excellent across the whole weekend with her children. George as well, he's fantastic, and Henry was really pleased with some of his results too. So it's really nice to see the families that travel to these races, the young family as well, all their Cameron and Alex as well competing. But yeah, we heard about Georgina and Tads who were kind of taking part as well, and they take part in all the races, so it was really good to see people get loads more experience. We had a few other people that we know from pentathlon who were trying to kind of branch out and do more OCRs, including people like Max. So there was definitely people learning, and kind of we've got this talent transfer happening, which is really exciting. And then Sandy, of course, Sandy is, a Scottish athlete that's been competing for a while, and she came 9th. Indy, we mentioned about her running early on, but I think she's got sort of a knee injury at the moment, so she did really well to complete in 11th. And yeah, if you watched any of the Boss live stuff on Saturday, that was Julie running that, and she brought so much energy to the whole weekend. Really made a difference in that weather. So thank you, Julie. But yeah, also we had the international athlete Susan. She's from Denmark. I think she's in her 50s, and she loved it. She had such awesome feedback for all the race. She took part in the 3K and as well as the 8K, and actually lost her luggage on the way. So anyway, it all worked out well in the end, and she thought it was a fantastic event and is going to tell the rest of the world about it. But yeah, a lot of people representing Rumble, and also people from PT Barn Races and Fit Body Farm, of course, showing up strong.
So we talk about. Sorry, Finn, you go.
I was going to circle back to Julie again. About to say she was great. I'm going to mention that again on the feed. It was really, really good to see. I think, especially from a media point of view, having a bit more people kind of being out there broadcasting it. I had a nice interview of her when I was exhausted and tired from the 3K, which was quite nice. But no, superb. I think also, I believe Dave, obviously Peters, was out there, and a couple more rabbits. Stuart Jeffrey was out there rabbiting. So yeah, a couple more people were really helpful from that kind of point of view. Mark went under the radar, as well as obviously masses of volunteers they had. I think Gavin said they had, I think, 97, 96-ish, something like that along those lines. So really impressive
And
from
only
that point of view.
And they all turned up, sometimes in kind of bigger events, they have no shows, but yeah, very committed team, Tartan Warrior.
Yeah.
Especially in the weather that we've heard how bad it is. It's very easy to go, oh, you know what? There's so many other people going. I'm just going to stay in bed.
They just say, welcome to Scotland, and smile.
Finn, we talk about prep in the preview show and kind of talk about not knowing where you are until you get to that first race. You said the Royal U. So let's talk about, anyone now. They've now got an idea of possibly where they might need to improve, or maybe that, the season starts to come to them. But I guess talk about both of you specifically. Now you've kind of been there at the top. You won the 3K, Becky. You've won the 8K. How does that now propel you with your own confidence and thoughts for the rest of the season?
Do you feel like you got a target on your back, Finn?
I feel like I've had that for a long time. I feel great. I'm used to that. Yeah, I feel from my point of view fine, better than I thought it was going to. Like I say, that win was unexpected on the Saturday. So yeah, I feel fine. And like I say, on the Sunday, obviously I finished 4th. That's a decent position, but also I've not got the pressure of Mo, Russ, and potentially Gavin, who knows, the rest of the season. So it's a comfortable position to kind of build up on and see where I go for the rest of the season. But I'm feeling, all right. It's a great start, in my opinion, for the rest of the season, especially seeing how, I'll be honest, coming from the off season, I thought the obstacles were going to be a little bit more shotty than they were. So luckily, I'm in a better position than I thought it was going to be. Hopefully ready for the season.
Still got it. Yeah, it certainly gives you confidence. I didn't have this much confidence a week ago, I'd say. So yeah, it's really nice to kind of have that, because you can't take it away from you. That that performance is there, especially as these were some quite important races. It felt like, and a good competitive kind of showing as well. So it does fill you with confidence. But yeah, I guess a little bit of pressure for the next one. But I don't have too long to dwell on that, because I have another major goal ahead of that. So yeah.
And talk about prep. Let's just talk about the Saturday night, because of course had the 3K, then we had Saturday night UK OCR Awards. And Finn, did I hear that they was trying to kind of nobble you so you'd have a worse showing on the Sunday? Was that right?
Yeah, there was a lot of, I'm going to call them intoxication tactics, be my new phrase for it. A lot of, I quite enjoyed it, to be honest. I'm a young person. I'm quite comfortable, really. I recover. I don't get hangovers frequently. So I was quite happy to be offered drinks and shots the night from Gavin and others trying to prevent me the next day. That just runs off my back for me. I was quite happy. A couple shots, a couple drinks for me. Yeah. Didn't have to pay a couple times. I loved it. Yeah. A great Saturday night.
He's like, I can run faster than you and I can beat a hangover better than you. Watch me. I went for the 0 alcohol options. Yeah.
Probably a smarter idea.
Yeah. But there was a lot of people going to bed early, because we were losing in the hour, which is actually a big factor, which we didn't talk about in the preview show, which we did miss. But that was like a major factor, although thankfully it wasn't as an early start as like other races have been. So it was more manageable. But doing the 3K and the 400s, there was 3 rounds to that, and there was also a relay if you were involved in that as well. So with the practice as well in the morning, that was quite a long day on Saturday, plus the awards. So unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of discoing, but we had a really nice meal and lots of awards to celebrate. So yeah, really nice to have the community together. It was a sell-out event, lots of whipping and several trees piling up on the tables for all the successful winners. I think there aren't any left there now, but I managed to smuggle 4 home in my hand luggage, which was good. But yes, the Tartan Warrior rosettes won Bling of the Year, I think, as well for last year. So we got some nice ones this time with actually, of course, the Tartan Warrior look on them, but we've also got a patch for the 3K and a different rosette for the 3K, which has got the British Obstacle Sports kind of line on it, which was really cool. Plus there was a hat, a medal, a t-shirt, and yeah, what else was next? So a good haul.
I think we're about done. Anything else about the weekend that you want to talk about? Anything more about the weather, the obstacles, the drinking games, the journeys?
We'll have to calculate the team scores, of course. We don't have those just yet.
Yeah.
But this will be laying down. Of course, very proud that Nuclear Essex got the 1-2 in the ladies.
Of course.
What does the men? Well, men's a bit more varied, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, they've got a 2-3, have they? Fit Body Farm Priest. Yeah, it's quite strong.
2-3 and a 1-4-5.
So Rumble's always there, but not quite there. Well, got the 1.
Early days.
Yeah.
We'll find our rhythm.
Okay.
The
home race of Nuclear.
We're recording a bit earlier than usual, just because we've got the.
It's okay, you've got the race director.
There is a training session for coming up for the next
event, which is also the British 12K Championships. Second race of the UK Star Series. There's a training session with race director Dave Peters at Nuclear Wild Forest. If you want to prepare for the next race in this series.
Do you know when that is?
Might have happened by the time this comes out.
I think you're right. 4th of April. Yeah. Oh, 4th of April and the 25th of April from 10:30. Join us at Nuclear Wild Forest for a 90-minute training session with Rumble fitness coach and British Champs race director Dave Peters. Technique, skills, and race endurance. Go take a look at the British Obstacle website, which is britishobstacle.org for all of the information and booking details. Guys, thank you very much. Congratulations once again on the win. Thank you for taking me through what seemed to be a really horrible weather weekend, but you all managed to get through it. Typical Scottish weather, no doubt. Fantastic race, fantastic weekend had by all, no doubt. You can follow Finn on Instagram. His Instagram handle is fin.greenleaf. And you can follow Becky on Instagram at the Runner Bean UK. Of course, thank you to British Obstacle Sports for always supporting the UK OCR League. You can follow them on Instagram at British Obstacle Sports. If you haven't already, you should be following UK OCR across all of the channels at UK OCR. If you like what you hear, you can obviously support us by joining the Patreon from as little as, I think it's £1 per month. Or if you just want to donate a one-off, you can go to Buy Me a Coffee and then go to UK OCR for that. Of course, it's Buy Me a Coffee, not Buy Me a Beer, but I know the guys want beer. Sometimes it's all grey tea if you're talking to Alan, but Buy Me a Coffee. We'll be back very soon for the British Championships, as Becky has already mentioned. That's the second race in the UK OCR series. We will have Dave Peters on with us to talk about it, although I don't think I've invited him yet. So, Dave, this is your invite to come and join us for the next episode. And then we have a bonus episode where we will be with Tamar and Andrew talking about the European Championships, which are happening in Spain later on this year. By the way, just as a final thing, Finley, you've got 4 points. Becky, you've got 3 points. So we've just started, though. It's okay. It's just the beginning, but it's always nice, Finn, as we've just said, have that confidence of taking, early points.
We were talking about it in the restaurant on the way home, weren't we, Finn? I thought I was winning. Damn it. It's okay. I'll take 2 wins in the race instead.
We'll see where we are at the end of the season. So it's very early. You've both scored a few early points. That will do for now. But until then, thank you very much from Becky, Finn, and myself. We will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
for the faint of heart. We all stars, win or lose, we don't play the part. And when the going get tough, I get to going hard. You bring your best and you know I'ma tear them apart. We ready survival,